Okay, so let's look at the next couple of exercises. So the next exercises are this block and print design, and these exercises are related. So the first one is actually very simple. It's a function that always prints out the same three lines, namely this little sign here. And then the next function is supposed to print out a sign, but now we can specify what should be inside it, and the number of dashes should basically grow with the amount of letters in the thing we want to format. So let's look at both of these at once. So they are in this file, last block, and we can see that we actually already have the sign here. So we can see that at the bottom, last block function is being called. So we can just begin to implement it. And I don't think I'll use the debug or anything like this. I kind of trust that I can do that. So I just copy pasted the line that I need to format, and I'll make sure to remove this white space because that is a recipe for disaster. And then I'll print the next one. Let's clean it up afterwards, and then we can just basically repeat this one. And then I guess we need to clean it up a little bit. And that looks fine. So let's just to see if it works. It looks like it works. And since we're doing something with text strings, and that's always super tricky, I think I will just run the test out here. This one, I guess. And the test also seems to indicate that it works. Then we get to the more challenging one, namely nice sign. You can see that it's given the message. It's a text string, and it needs to be formatted like this. So the way I'm going to do this is that I'm going to copy my earlier solution because I intuit they are going to be very related. Then I'm going to insert a breakpoint. Then I'm going to debug the file, hit the breakpoint, and this is where I'll start thinking because now I have my debug console. So this is actually the way I usually approach many of these problems. I just see how far I can get without thinking, and then get started in the debugger. And now I can start experiment because now I have the message, and I can basically make small experiments down here and figure out how to solve this exercise. So how to do that? Well, if you notice the number of letters up here, the number of dashes are the same as the number of letters in this stuff down here. In other words, I think a good approach would be that I first format this text string and then use the information about how long it is to format this one. And then I just repeat what I did down here. So let's try to follow that approach. So let's do a variable called middle. And let's say that middle is equal to this one up here. And now what I can do is that I can just say that it should be equal to the message plus the last pipe here with the space and with a plus. So let's see if that works. So I just copy it, insert, paste, and we can see what middle is. That looks fine. So now we need to use some stuff about text strings that we saw in the book. So what can we do with text strings? Well, we can compute the length of a text string using length. So, for instance, this is 3 and the other one was apparently 15. And then the other thing we can do is that if I have a letter, let's say I have the letter X, I can repeat it 3 times by multiplying by 3, and 10 times by multiplying by 15, and 15 times by multiplying by 15, and this also works with dashes. In other words, I can do this. Oopsie doopsie. And it works. So I guess what I could do here is that I could define middle, print it out, but before I print it out, I print out this, and then maybe I repeat. And maybe this is my approach. So let's see if it works by stopping and running. And we don't need to stop here anymore, so I remove the breakpoint and run. and it seemed to work. So let's test it using the test, because text strings are notoriously annoying to get completely right in Python. It seemed like it worked. So that would be a solution for this exercise.